Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to master Horizon. Now recently Horizon received a huge nerf and it's really decreased her pick rate and how good people think she is. Honestly, I still think she's really strong, people just aren't playing her right, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how you should be using her. Before we get into this one, make sure to drop a like if you think the P2020 is doo-doo, and also comment your favorite arena map down below. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with some tips for Horizon's passive, then get into her tactical and ult. The first tip's a pretty basic one, but it's a slide before you hit the ground when you're coming in from a high distance, because this will let the passive work its magic and you'll go absolutely flying along. Now I'll break it down for you guys. As you're falling, click the crouch slide button, whatever you want to call it, and you'll land in a crouching position and go flying. Okay, so my next tip is to use your passive aggressively. Okay, so say there's enemies below you. What you want to do is you want to drop on them, use the sliding tactic I showed you before, and you'll go flying through there, and it's just going to be really hard for them to hit you, and they're not going to be expecting it, especially because you're going to be going so fast, and it's going to be hard for them to track you, and generally you can get some pretty easy beams off on them. This next tip I got for you guys is probably one of my favorite things to do with Horizon, and this is to hit objects as you're skydiving to get down faster. As you see, this is probably the best example in Hammond. You go onto this ramp, make sure you're sliding, guys, and you'll just bounce off a couple objects. You want to try to aim for the second ramp. I kind of overshoot it there, but I still get a really great head start on everyone else. And it's a great way to beat your enemies to get the loot first. Now we're going to get into some tips for Horizon's tactical, the gravity lift. This first tip I got for you guys is one I never see Horizons do, and this is to actually use your tactical as cover. As you can see here, it's great visual cover. It kind of just blocks their vision and often they won't see you there. Although you have to be careful how much you do this, because I've found myself doing this sometimes too much. Then I'll find myself in a position where I need my gravity lift to escape, but I still don't have it because I'm waiting for the recharge. My next tip is place your tactical on doors to stop people pushing. It'll pretty much make it impossible for them to push you from that door because the lift will just keep pushing them away. This will give you enough time to res or pop a quick heal. My next tip is to use the tactical to be confusing. Don't take the obvious route with it. Bob and weave straight around, try to make it hard for them to hit you and to know where you're coming from, and often they'll just focus on your teammates and you can just reposition, get in a nice angle and hit some shots. Horizon's gravity lift is amazing for better placing your ult. As you see in this clip, I use the lift to get up and I can place the ult easily and I just beam this caustic. Using her tactical to get up in the air like this is also amazing just for general scouting around. You can look out to see where the enemies are, potentially get some easy shots off at them, and often, guys, people don't expect you to be shooting them from the top of the gravity lift. They're always looking around on the floor, seeing where they're getting shot from, and they're not going to expect you way up in the air. The gravity lift is amazing at escaping sticky situations, like when you're caught in the middle of a Bangalore, Gibraltar, Fuse, Caustic, or Horizon ult. You just pop that lift and escape right out of there. Another great use for the tactical is when moving cover to cover. Just pop a tactical, it'll give you a little speed boost as you go on it, and it'll just make you more versatile and harder to hit. One of the funniest things you can do with Horizon's gravity lift is place it on enemies that are behind cover, because they'll just be going all frantic because they're going to be pushed out of their nice cozy cover. You should probably only use this trick though if they are weak, because if they're just popping a bat and their bat's about to pop, you're about to make them a lot harder targets because there are going to be 3 of them shooting at you from all 3 different angles. I only recommend doing this if you have the high ground and a good angle to shoot them when they do come flying out of the cover. You should always be trying to get the high ground with your tactical, because as we learned from Star Wars,
it's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Oh man, never gets old. Guys, also remember you're not the only one in your team that can use the lift, so try to use the lift to help your teammates get to the high ground as well. As you see here, we grab the crafting materials and then use the lift to get up in the high ground. We got our whole team with an advantage over the other team in that arenas match because we got the high ground, and by the time they get up there, we'll have a good angle to get some good shots off. And guys, the tactical just in general is great at just getting around the map, just saving you some time when you're going for that ring rotation, getting you that high ground really quick and easy. Before Horizon's huge nerf of the gravity lift, you used to be able to pop a bat and go up in your gravity lift and just strafe around, and it would literally be impossible for them to hit you, but now it's really slow to strafe, and everything in the tactical is just really sluggish and slow. So if you're getting pushed and you need to heal, what you want to do is you want to pop your gravity lift right next to you, and then pop a bat, and then halfway through the bat, then go up in the gravity lift. And guys, this will just make it really hard for them, because if you just instantly go into the gravity lift and then pop the bat, it's 5 seconds for them just to easily beam you while you're slowly moving through the air. But if you go on it halfway through, then they're not really expecting it. They're thinking at first that you're going to go on the gravity lift. They'll probably look away from the gravity lift, and then they're gonna look back up at the gravity lift, and they're gonna notice that you're up in the gravity lift with full HP, ready to beam them. Now let's get on to some banger tips with the ult. Horizon's ult is definitely one of the most annoying abilities in the game, and guys, what we like to do, we like to make life hard for our opponents. We don't want to make it easy for them. We want them to suffer. One of the most satisfying things in Apex is the crackling sound of armor when you hit a good grenade. And there's a really OP combo you can use, which is Horizon's ult plus some arc star. All you gotta do is put your ult right on them, try to get all 3 members of the team in the ult, and then throw as many grenades as you can. This will most likely kill, if not break their armor. And if it does just break their armor, they're still slowed by the ult and getting pulled back in towards it, so they're pretty easy kills. Do be careful though guys, if you are throwing thermite grenades into the ult, they will start burning away and breaking the ultimate. One thing that literally no one knows, except pro Horizon mains, which guys, this is about to be you, is that you can actually pull people through walls with the ultimate. Well, not exactly through the wall, but you can get them stuck on the wall. This is great for third partying because it just makes the whole entire fight really awkward for the enemies, while you can just sit back and farm a ton of damage on them. Something that I see lots of Horizons do wrong is in those close range SMG fights, they'll throw their ultimate, but this is just going to make the whole fight even more awkward for both teams, and it doesn't really give you any advantage over the enemies because you're all just going to be stuck in the ult. So guys, try not to use your ultimate unless it's at a medium range, because that way you can throw it in there, chuck some grenades and whatnot, and then push into the fight. This will stop you from getting caught up in the ult and still make it really awkward for them. Lots of people don't know this, but you can actually throw your black hole on an enemy trident as they're trying to escape. They're going to be caught up in the black hole. It will stop them from being able to get into the trident, and even once they are in the trident, it's going to make it really hard for them to leave because the trident's going to be getting sucked into the black hole. If enemies are sitting nice and cozy behind cover just to ruin their day, you guys should chuck your ultimate ability behind the cover, but make sure it's either behind or to either side of the cover because this will drag them out into the open, make them an easy target. Guys, probably the simplest thing you can do with the ult is just pop it straight on them as you're pushing into the fight. This will just make it really hard for them to move around and escape your bullets. Guys, I promise you, if you follow all these tips, you're going to improve so much with Horizon. I personally used to main Horizon for a little bit, and I started using these tips. I saw a video on YouTube kind of explaining some of these tips out, and it really helped, so I thought I'd do the exact same thing for you guys, help you out a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to everyone who stuck around to the end. You guys are truly legends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to check out these ones.